All right, folks, we're back, and we're going to be getting into this first semifinals. But I did talk about the keyboard earlier. I hooked this thing up. I want to plug it in and see it. So, I wonder if the lighting would work if I just plugged it into a power socket instead of my computer. How do I open this part of the box? This is like too complicated, 5me. I'm just gonna yank the cords out. Rip. Somebody highlighting my clip of me smelling the keyboard, by the way, on Twitter. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, man.
I'm telling you, good new. It's like new car smell. People love new car smell. That's not weird.
I think it's kind of weird because I don't know what the appeal is, but I get your point.
Okay, so just simply plugging this into a power bank doesn't appear to turn on all the cool lights. I'll probably have to plug this into my computer. I'll wait till we're done this best of 3 because I don't want to risk screwing things up. So we'll get this best of 3 out of the way, and then when we're back, we'll take a small break to... Honestly, it's not an important break, but I really want to play with my new keyboard. So we'll see what it looks like after we get done with this first best of 3 of aLive versus ShoWTimE. Oh, you can't tell me it doesn't smell good to have new stuff.
No, I can tell you that. Unless it's a new deodorant.
I've been actually, good. You know what? I'm so this is like combination cheap, but combination just not caring. I've been using those little, the little Old Spice samplers they gave out at TwitchCon.
Oh yeah.
I grabbed like 7 of those, and they've just lasted me since then. I'm like on my last one now.
They're not that bad. Like it's not like it's Axe.
No, they don't. Yeah, they definitely don't smell that bad or anything. But it's just like I feel like it's the first time I've gone like 5 or something months of my life I've not had to go buy deodorant because I've just been living off of these little ones.
Let's living frugal, man.
Yeah, living frugal. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into game number 1 of the semifinals here for the Corsair Cup. Corsair Cup, of course, powered by Twitch. And spawning here in the bottom right, we got the red Protoss player, ShoWTimE.
And top left is the teal Terran. He's alive.
So kind of a cool blessing getting to see ShoWTimE. He doesn't play in a lot of our stuff, and this is because I do know that he spends more time training and practicing for the bigger events and not really participating in off things. So it's nice seeing him play, for sure.
It is. You know, everyone says innovation is a machine because he doesn't show any emotion, and he just wins all the time, and it's a funny little meme.
I've literally never heard that before.
Okay. Well, I would argue that ShoWTimE has got to be the foreigner machine, and not because he is emotionless or that he like wins so often and he's perfect, right? But man, like when you watch this guy in tournaments or you hear stories about him, he really is like, so he works out like every morning. He eats very healthy. He's like very concerned about his diet. He always has like the perfect posture, which you know most pro gamers do not have. Okay, like it's not terrible, but it's usually not perfect. This guy's literally like 90 degrees to the back, and then his elbows, like it's perfect. And he always just like after losing just goes back to playing, and you're just like, are you human? Like what's going on here? Like I don't understand. So I kind of hope that might be his nickname in the future, but no one's catching on, and I'm not. I don't have the power of being Tastosis to try and catch something on, you know? It's really the only way. Either you gotta have Tastosis say something, In Control say something during Corsair Cup, or have pro gamers make a Twitter meme out of it, and then it's a thing. One day.
Well, I'll follow just for the story and see if it follows through, I guess.
Thanks.
Proxy Stargate comes down out of ShoWTimE. Reaper is not going to run into this, unfortunately, and of course he's going to scout aLive's base here in just a moment. aLive has gone for the not quite, I guess, command center first into multiple racks build that we've been seeing a lot of on 4-player maps. You know, it was happening a lot of Whirlwind, now it happens a lot on Undergrounds, but if he goes for a Widowmine first and if he's gearing up for some sort of drop, he'll have innately the defense he wants, but if this is something like a Cyclone or anything else, he's going to maybe be sweating to deal with this.
Yeah. aLive is about to scout something suspicious. As Reaper, no, as SCV dies, killing the Reaper. And the Reaper is not going to scout the Stargate, so I don't think he's seeing anything suspicious enough yet. But any good pro gamer will always go with their Widowmine to the mineral line, so chances are the Oracle won't do a lot of damage. But, you know, there's two different bases. They're really far apart on autogrounds. His Marines aren't plentiful enough to protect one of the bases, while Widowmine protects the other. It might be like 6 or 7 SE kills.
He is not going to wait for the second Oracle, by the way, which has been, I think, a little more trendy to do, but still, nonetheless,
you know
over here with timing, gets him a couple kills.
Oh, okay, it really sucks that the Widowmine was on the way here and that the mule was just dropped, because you can kill the Widowmine and you can kill the mules, and this actually is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, this is the worst I could have gotten. Now, he doesn't get the mule, so hey, there's a little bit of salvation there, but we do have a Viking on the way. Marines could be focused down if you want to kill those. Unfortunately, now driven off with no energy, he's got to fall back and wait for that second Oracle to come in. But 7 workers killed on top of the Widowmine is certainly a good start here for ShoWTimE.
I think he realized there wasn't a second Widowmine. Oopsie. Okay, well that was a mistake. But if he had gone back in the main base, even the Viking trying to get shots on it, the Oracle still could have done a lot of damage before dying. Now there's 2 of them. Anytime the Viking's out in position, it's going to be a lot of damage done. I think aLive is in the right to go for another Widowmine, seeing that there's 2 Oracles. Usually I think he'd be building something else, like maybe a reactor or tech lab on it, to swap over for later, but sooner is better. His Reaper also got pushed away, but not killed. Yes. Still kind of worried about what could be possibly coming, though, so he's building a bunker.
I actually thought this may have even led into a Void Ray follow-up, especially realizing there'd be a Viking. You know, we've actually seen that be not the most uncommon thing, but with the Viking out of position, maybe he feels safe going back into the base?
Maybe. You could try and kill the Viking. Oh, wait a second! Oh, no!
Oh, that's right. You could just jump up to the sky, Superman styles. Well, as he goes back in, there are way too many Marines to tango with. This side, I believe... Yeah, there's a Widowmine here. Not burrowed again, though. Feels bad.
Yeah, he could have killed it. Oh, well.
I like the choice of Revelation, though, too, at the same time. It's a lot of vision, and he'll know once that production kicks in. Back at home, though, ShoWTimE, interestingly enough, he's not rushing out like Robotech. He's actually gone for that faster blink. And I don't blame him. This is going to be great for catching drops and having a bit of maneuverability, but I don't like it in terms of the offensive blink. I think it's actually kind of risky to have these stalkers out here like this.
I like offensive blink. I don't think this is the best map to do it on, since it's not like a level ground to the base. Like Bell Shear, you can get up the ramp and then you can start harassing the supply depots without worrying about high ground vision. Here it's a little more complicated. But he's clearing up Widowmines that are all over the place, which is kind of nice. And actually clean these odd positioned Widowmines up. Usually doesn't happen, and they get a couple of free kills.
Revelation gives high ground vision, actually, which is really nice.
Oh, but he takes the Viking out, and he can still take out Marines and focus fire.
This is some really nice precision out of ShoWTimE, I must say.
Yep. You guys good? I don't know if we can do that.
Normally there's so much going on I don't get to notice, but the fire from a burning building actually illuminates the area around it. Nice attention to detail, Blizzard.
Attention to detail is the automatic processing of the graphics.
It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
I guess that's true.
It can still be a nice attention to detail.
I guess, yeah. So many things are automatic now when you build visuals in 3D, man.
Technology of the future.
Amazing.
I'm loving these continued revelation tags, by the way. Getting the whole army is big, but it is that perfect way to know just how you can possibly fight in flight. We do have the observers kind of double stacked. Not really too useful at the moment, but they'll provide some vision.
He realized it. aLive's got to be feeling pretty uncomfortable. He's a snipe. That's good. But he's still feeling uncomfortable, if I had to guess. He had to worry about, like, was that a real more dedicated all-in? It wasn't. And early on, he had to worry about the oracles leading on something, and then nothing happened. He couldn't get a medevac out to do anything, so he's got to figure ShoWTimE's on a really baller economy, which he is. The only thing aLive has going for him is upgrades, which he wouldn't even know, because he doesn't know if ShoWTimE went for a double forge style or whatever else, mass gateways. So just basically aLive is very limited information, where ShoWTimE has been controlling the game the entire time. aLive's gotta do something. He's gonna like run forward with bio, and a good number of Marauders, mind you, but still. And he's going to be met with 2 Colossus, I think, with range, and he's going to have to answer for him.
His third's late, which sucks in comparison to his opponents. Like, I don't think it's late objectively here, but the fact that ShoWTimE got away that third Nexus so quickly, match that with Chrono Boost and his 66 probes, like, he's good to go. And that's where he is able to afford things like those extra Colossus and, more importantly, double upgrades behind this.
Mm-hmm. ShoWTimE has such tabs on aLive too. He knows exactly what he can get away with. It's beyond the Revelation. It's also the Stalkers controlling the Zelnaga for a little bit and seeing that the army still hasn't moved out.
So it's like a Firefox browser. Lots of tabs.
His upgrades are on the way, so we'll be matching aLive soon. aLive
Actually, was it
like his armory?
Was it you who said they hate having a lot of tabs open?
Yeah, I was talking about how Scarlet has like 20 tabs open, and you're like, it's totally normal, and then it just made me hate
I mean,
you.
I opened so many tabs to the point where they shrink so small you can't even read what the header is anymore. Like,
nope.
That's
no,
like,
if I'm researching something and I legitimately need more than 10 tabs, I will just drag it to a new window and put more tabs on that window.
See, that actually sounds way too messy and complicated. I think that, like, if I'm scrolling through Imgur, right, and I want to look at these pictures, I'll just, like, tab each one open, and then, like, I'll scroll through them all later when I'm done collecting them all.
Oh, God. No, not even.
So just get, like, 50 pictures queued up through various different tabs. Different species? Excuse me? Oh, that's like this thing a bit.
Anyway.
I can't believe the way you browse. It seems so inefficient.
I also don't waste a lot of time just opening up a bunch of images. Like, I'll scroll through Reddit, which is max 7 new tabs, because I don't want to read everything on Reddit.
Yeah, but I want to read the like, if you see a video. Okay, you know what? I really don't care about this anymore. Advancing forward, we do have a fight coming up, and that's where there's Colossus coming into play. Now they don't. Okay, excuse me. They do have extended thermal lance. I just missed that in the production tab. So he's got range for this.
I doesn't really have that bad of an army, but it just isn't. It can't do very much, so he's forced to turtle and hope that ShoWTimE messes up.
Well, that was a pretty nasty Widowmine hit. Just speaking of perhaps messing up, but missile turrets coming down. The Stalkers don't get necessarily shot down by the Liberators so easily anymore, but it's worth noting aLive doesn't have any upgrades, so he's just going to be relying on the base damage of the Liberators. Does he have range too? No, there's no Liberator range on top of this. So it's a tough position to break, but it's also not like aLive can push out. Like that Colossus snipe was nice, but that was like miscontrol out of ShoWTimE. That wasn't really him getting chased down by aLive.
He's about to have better upgrades, but he really can't push into this army. Just like not in a safe manner. I don't think it'd be worth it. He's on 4 bases. Just play the safe path. Get disruptors. Get stargates. If he's gonna get Tempest, aLive is gonna just not ever have like the better army. Actually, well, maybe if he got a lot of ghosts.
I really like the idea of Storms matching up with this. I mean, Tempests are one thing, whatever, sure, but I like Storms because you know that no matter how this fight goes down, if it's going to keep fighting around here, there's going to be a choke. So Liberators aside from the moment, that army doesn't exactly push out easily. Thank you for the bits, by the way. Nogri109. Or no gi.
Karate class. He has no gi.
No gi, yeah. He will catch some of the Liberators out of position. There's a very bold blink forward. It will cost him one of his Stalkers. Here's that Disruptor looking for the hit. Does get to detonate, so gets a good chunk of aLive's army, but he loses the Disruptor forward. So he's got to be careful not to hit his own units. Oh my god, ShoWTimE!
That's close. ShoWTimE has Storms coming in here. This is just all things that are really just making sure that aLive can't comfortably push into his army, as aLive has not added in Ghosts yet. If he adds in Ghosts, gets maxed out, has decent upgrades, I think the Terran army is even sometimes better than the Protoss late game army. But we're not at that point yet, so there's no point in talking about it. I mean, ShoWTimE is going to start Adams at this.
There is mass Viking production. This is, again, where Storms I think are a little bit better. Like, they can hit some of the bio, sure. Storms aren't really going to be effective against the Liberators, but if there's going to be like 12 Vikings clumped up, that's where you really want to hit those Storms. Dancing around these Liberators as best he can. Looks like some of his Templar are going to get caught, so he has to blink in whether he wanted to or not. There's those Storms. Hits most of the Marines. As those get taken out, Guardian Shields go up. Marauders really left. They're fighting Adepts more than they are Stalkers. The Vikings do the job, though. They do take out the Colossus.
Nah, but everything else on the ground is still available.
You know, this is still ShoWTimE's army's got way more supply. This is looking so good for him as he pushes in for that win. It's a slow warp in, but it's a good warp in. GG's get called, and ShoWTimE takes game number 1.
With such control. Such Protoss mastery.
It was really cool though watching the precision early on. Like, okay, the oracles were really kind of whatever for me. I really liked the revelation and the stock or pair up of the oracles though. That for me was where I started getting really impressed watching that game. Yo, I'm just gonna say this, by the way. I'm gonna be blatant and say it. Rapid casting. This guy hangs out on our channel all the time. He hangs out with a ton of people that we know too. He's a nice guy, and it's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Rapid Casting.
Happy birthday.
So can we get some base trades and hearts and whatever bullshit to just spam Rapid Casting with? Use whatever emote you want, but just use Rapid Casting's name and spam some emotes with happy birthday. Make me a very happy person, and we can abuse him for having a birthday on the most stupidly not romantic day of the year, Valentine's Day.
Well, for the rest of the world, it's not Valentine's Day.
That's true. Yeah, but in Korea, where he lives, it is, so it's his birthday.
Yeah.
Although, how does that work? Like, if you were born in North America, but you're still ahead in the time zone, you're not technically 24 years old or 25, you know, sort of thing, because you haven't actually got that extra day yet.
Well, it depends on which hour you were born, actually, because it's only 13 hours ahead. So.
That is true.
You know, like, I don't celebrate my birthday at, I think it was one of like 7:15 a.m. or some shit, which did not make me a morning person, I'll tell you that much.
I dated a girl in high school who was that obsessed with her birthday. She was born, I can't even fucking remember the exact time. It was like 5 o'clock something, right? But it was in the evening, so it made for perfect celebration time. And I would just sit there, like, I really like this girl and everything, but I was just like, why do you care about the time? Like, it's your birthday, right? Not your birth minute, not your birth hour. It's your birthday.
Yeah, I really like my birthday. Everyone knows that. But the only reason I know this is that my mom will tell the story of like the whole process, and my dad was working night shifts, so he could not like pick her up and take her to the hospital. And also when he got to the hospital, he just kind of like fell asleep.
Oh.
It's like, it's a baby girl.
You're like, great, good, okay, I'll see you later. I'm out. Peace. Yep. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into game number 2 here in the semifinals. It's worth noting everybody playing from this point onwards is in the money. 3rd and 4th place share a low prize pool of $10, a bit of a consolation, but hey, a free lunch to say thanks for playing. And then 1st and 2nd place share the difference of $60 and $20 for these weekly cups that lead into the $400 monthly finals, which is made possible thanks to our new partnership with both Corsair and Twitch. So that's why it's the Corsair Cup, powered by Twitch. In the bottom left, we have the blue Terran. It's alive. It's alive!
No one's used that before. In the top right, as the red Protoss, he is ShoWTimE.
It doesn't have to be original if it's fun to say.
That's true. Like butts. Or moist.
Moist. Rapid Casting's moisty birthday. It would be so awkward if you just like came to the channel for like a second and left and we just spam for nothing. But yeah, that first game was really convincing for me. The thing that's crazy though is straight up, aLive is a great player. Like there's, well, it's gonna get proxied again. But aLive is a really great player, and even coming cross server, he was able to. He qualified for the first Corsair monthly finals, and he plays just generally well overall. So for him to lose to ShoWTimE, I actually really give more credit to ShoWTimE than I do take away from aLive.
ShoWTimE is just. I mean, this is what he was known for, how he won last game, but he's adding on these tricks, right? Which seems like it's almost a necessity if you're going to follow all the other Protosses that are winning now. And that's it's making them, like, you know, much better.
I like it, though. I've talked about this a lot when we're casting Classic and Hero, and I think it's not maybe a necessity, but it is a nice thing to add on. And honestly, it makes me think back to, like, the OG days with Maru, right? Where, like, okay, he would open 3 racks, but he wasn't like super all in with it, right? Like that would actually just be his opening straight up leading into a macro game.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest difference between ShoWTimE and the Korean Protosses right now.
This is race. He is German. You're correct.
It's not a race.
Good
job.
It was to finish that sentence.
Is that he doesn't do the Mothership Core thing, so it's not more dedicated than it has to be. And he does not follow up with an all-in either, which is more like hero-specific, but still, like he plays a very decent macro game behind it. I had never thought about this before, but it makes sense. You can fully wall off Proxima from a Reaper if you do it that way. So it's kind of tricky for ShoWTimE to do it. And I guess he is going to go for the Militia Core Rush, mixing things up here, but last game he didn't bother with it. And this could be a follow-up into the Void Ray all-in, which seems to be really abusive on ladder. Like, I've seen more and more Protosses do it on, like, pro gamer streams. Because Protoss are people.
Bad observing because I was calling out rapid casting on Twitter. I said, fuck you, don't go AFK when we get the entire chat to celebrate your birthday. But okay, the wall gets broken at the front, and most annoyingly, the reactor gets taken down. So for poor aLive, that's going to cut his production, and it takes so long to build a new reactor. He's going for a Cyclone behind this, not a bad idea. I think a Cyclone, combined with the fact that he has the safety of a Widowmine, is probably the best way to push forward through this. On the other side of the map, this Reaper has been accomplishing very little. It looks like he's attacked every building at least once or twice. Maybe that's just the grenade, but...
Oh, there you go. There he's using your noggin aLive.
Ah, it gets him over the wall. That's kind of cool. Oh, is Proxima actually... I guess those are doodads. That is a complete block off of the Reaper. Yeah. I was wondering about that.
That's what I was talking about. Please.
Sorry, as somebody who just sits at home with turtles and never uses Reapers, I wouldn't know that.
But you also 3-Max Reaper.
I actually just started leaving TvT. I just really don't enjoy TvT. If you actually look at my loss record, you'll see there's a lot of TvT games where I've got like 10 seconds play because I'm like, I don't want to play this.
Every TvT, it would really look like I was trying to lower my ranking to like gold or some shit. That's all I ever get is TvT.
That's the thing. That's why I want to move on to the next game. I don't care about ranking. I don't give a fuck if people see that on Masters or not. Like, I want to just play a game that I enjoy, and I don't enjoy TvT.
I want to get better, but sometimes I don't care.
I don't care about getting better. I haven't cared about getting better for years. I'm happy with just being a low, shitty Masters player. No offense to the other low, shitty Master players out there, by the way. It's just me.
I've never bothered getting better. Quote Rifkin 2017.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got this like magic where I can play every game at a very mediocre level, and I'm very okay with that. Like Diamond in Overwatch, Diamond in League of Legends, Masters
you're very
StarCraft.
Okay with being very mediocre.
I'm
You're gonna tell your wife hello.
Tell my wife I said hello. I love how that video still is like, it's been years on YouTube and it still has like an equal dislike-like ratio. You feel like there'd be some first world anarchists that would just offset that at some point.
Nah, man, there's always a good soul to counteract it.
It's like one guy who's just like constantly making new accounts. It's like, I gotta keep the ratio even. It's like the guy on Lost who's got to press the buttons, right?
Yep. So let's take an evaluation of the game. ShoWTimE did a decent amount of damage with his Oracle opener / Militia Core, 13 SCVs, supply depots, reactor, lift off the barracks, really mess up aLive's macro. He did not follow up with the Void Ray all-in, which is fine, so it's going to be macro for him. But he has gotten a lot off of this. aLive has pretty late stim, pretty late combat shields. He hasn't had any opportunity to drop at all, and it feels a lot like the last game where aLive is just forced to be like, I guess I can't do anything. All right, then. You do your thing, Protoss. It's brutal.
Looks like my Twitter call-out worked. Rapid Cassie's back. Yay!
Now, quick, everyone, in 3 minutes, say happy birthday. That'll work.
No, he's lost it. Don't wish him anything. Wish him a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Galentine's Day.
Gallant? Okay, crap. Leslie, nope.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like...
This was actually a beautiful stasis trap, and aLive finds himself in a very awkward predicament because while this could maybe be something where ShoWTimE just disengages, he's probably going to try and pick units off and just blink back.
I don't think he should. Sim is almost done. Yeah.
I think if you blink quick enough, you're really not going to take much from it, and that's kind of exactly what just happened. He's continuing to back away. A little bit worrisome because, yeah, this army type is good against just Stalkers, but once he meets up with anything else, like whether it's a Warping of Adepts or these Oracles have a bit more energy so they can fight too. Widowmine's walking directly forward, not getting targeted. They're like, back off, man.
He wanted to with the Oracles, but the Stalkers were focus firing the Cyclone. I think the Widowmines would have been a better...
That's actually really unfortunate, though, because I did use a lot of the Oracle's energy just to activate and deactivate the weapons.
He doesn't have any Adepts on the front lines, so he's a little scared about losing too many Stalkers to this, but his army is better than aLive's.
Ooh, does he not have Revelation available? He almost does. 7 seconds.
This is it's not a good enough army of aLive. Like the army supplies are even, but you know he's reinforcing too, so it's not really accurate. And yeah, aLive can't do anything.
Oh, there's a clever guy in chat on that previous topic saying, what about your mediocre casting? Well, you know what?
Oh
If mediocre casting brings in almost 4,000 viewers, I'm okay with that.
What about your mediocre BM? Like a lukewarm pot of water.
Riggedy, riggedy, okayed. Alright, the drop in the main commences. Again, there's like a lot of Marauders with this, so that Colossus does have to be a bit careful, especially if the Widowmine shots go off. There's no range on this. Extended thermal lens we can see being chronoed as we speak, but I think that looks like positioning should be good. Stalker's doing okay to get some trades here, but this is still tough. Like the A move versus A move. There we go. That's going to force that back. Picks up the medevacs. Luckily, the ones with units didn't die. I'd say what are the chances, but 2 and 4 means 50-50. This is my mediocre math too, by the way.
Amazing.
I'm totally okay with as well. But he picks off a couple of the Marauders on the retreat, and ShoWTimE, combined with the opening and the fact that he just deflected this. Oh, there's the big pickoffs. GG!
Damn!
All right, ShoWTimE takes the series 2-0, and he'll move on to the grand finals. The other side actually isn't ready to go yet, so this is the perfect time for me to waste time with my keyboard. So we're going to go to a commercial break, then we're going to go plug in this $200 keyboard and see what this baby has to offer. So see you guys in 2 minutes. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.